Hello, people. A very happy morning to all of you. So, guys, since the launch of new scheme under the CA course with effect from 1st July 2023, a lot of queries were, getting accumulated in the minds of the CA inter and the CA final students with respect to the exemption that would get carry forwarded from the old scheme to new scheme. So, finally, the wait is over, guys. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has released an exemption notification on 24th of August 2023, which is yesterday, where they've given a very good clarity in terms of how the exemptions would get carry forwarded from the old scheme to the new scheme. So let me just reiterate the questions or the confusion that were there in the minds of the students. In this video, guys, I'm particularly only going to discuss about the CA inter exemptions. I'll make a separate video for discussing on the CA final exemptions. So especially students, those are writing in the November 23 examination, they felt, sir, if I'm writing a group 1 paper and sorry, group 1 in the CA inter under the existing, that is old scheme, and I clear that group, and if I clear that group under the new scheme, which I write in May 24, the group 2, in group 2, am I supposed to take the entire group 2? Because in group 2 of new scheme, we have costing, auditing, and FMSF. Now that costing is already cleared by you in November 23 under the existing old scheme by virtue of giving group 1, then should I repeat again costing in group 2 was the question. Then some people had asked a doubt that, sir, I'm not very confident of clearing the entire group 1, but I'm quite sure that I might get exemption in 1 or 2 subjects in the group 1. And if I get such exemption, will that exemption be carried forwarded to the new scheme? Same questions or same set of questions were there in the minds of people, those who are writing group 2. So what if I complete the entire group 2? So in the group 1 of the new scheme, what am I supposed to write? If I don't clear the entire group 2, but I've got exemptions, will such exemptions be carried forwarded to the new scheme? And also there were a few set of questions where people have secured exemption in the November 22 examination and May 23 examinations. And all of you are aware that your exemptions is valid. You're the first exemptions what you get is valid for next 3 attempts. So people, those who got exemption in November 22 examination, so they were wondering, sir, will I get this exemption carry forwarded to the new examination? Because after November 22, their next exemption was applicable for May 23, then November 23, and then May 24. So for May 24, will the exemptions be carry forwarded or not? This was one of the question. Second question what people asked is, sir, in May 2023, I gave the examination of any particular group, but I could not complete the group or I could not pass the entire group, but rather I've secured the exemption in that particular group. So will that exemption be carry forwarded in the May 24 attempt under the new scheme? So I'm going to discuss all these queries in this particular video. So please stay tuned, and everybody or anyone who's watching this video or my YouTube channel for the very first time, it's my humble request that do subscribe it, and please do forward this video to maximum people, because this video can be a savior for a lot of people who are going to appear in the CA Inter November 23 examination. So before I head forward, guys, I would like to draw your attention to our academy. So guys, we are into providing the offline classes, virtual classes, recorded lectures for CA Foundation, CA Intermediate, and CA Final level. And we do not restrict ourselves only to the classes. We also provide the offline test series or test batch facilities to the students. I feel test forms a very integral and crucial aspect for one to clear the journey of the CA. So please do not undermine the importance of the test. So please take test, and I guide students depending on their scenarios and circumstances that what type of test to be taken, so that the end goal of clearing the CA inter or final examination has been achieved. And we do not stop only with test batches. We also provide counseling and mentoring on regular basis to different people and help them, make the reverse planning. We help them do the realistic decision, and we provide the different revision techniques, which differs from one student to another student, and it also differs from subject to subject. So we do a lot of these kind of mentorings also, which helps a people or a person to motivate and bounce back with that energy which is required to compete for the examination. So I've made a separate video, guys, where I've discussed the benefit of writing the test and how people have cleared the examination in one shot and scored exceptionally well by giving up the tests. And another video I've prepared on explaining what are the features that we offer in the test series. So the link of that particular video I'll be putting in the description below. All of you can go and watch that one more time. So coming back, guys, to this exemption notification. This was released yesterday, guys, 24th August 2023. So here the first point talks about the final. I'm not discussing the final examination in this video. I'll be straight away going to the intermediate examination. Now, please listen to me very carefully. Paper-wise exemption on the basis of securing 60% or more marks, 60 and above, anybody scoring, you have the exemption. So the council has decided to continue to award exemption in paper or papers to a candidate granted, continue to award exemption granted earlier under the old or existing scheme for having secured a minimum of 60% mark in one or more paper for the unexpired chances of exemption, which means that if anybody is given the examination in November 22 or May 23 attempt, and if you have secured an exemption for the unexpired period for November 22 people, you have exemptions you can carry forward for May 23, November 23, and May 24. So at this moment, when I'm recording this video, you have the two unexpired period, which is November 23 and May 24. So you can carry forward for unexpired period. And for people, those who have gained the exemption in May 23 examination, your unexpired period is November 23 and May 24. So you can carry forward for May 24 attempt also. And even if you don't clear in that examination, you can carry forward to the November 24 examination as well, because the exemption is valid for 3 upcoming examinations. Now, if anyone is getting an exemption in paper 1 of accounting, which is group 1, paper 1 accounting, now in the new scheme, you don't have to write the paper 1, group 1 of advanced accounting. Now imagine a scenario in November 22 or May 23 or in November 23, you have secured an exemption. You have secured an exemption in accounting paper 1, and you have not cleared the rest of the group. You have not cleared the rest of the papers in that group. In that case, you don't have to write the paper 1 of the advanced accounting in the group 1 of the new scheme. Now, one more point I want to highlight. If anybody has got exemption in paper 5 advanced accounting, guys, in the old scheme, we had 2 accounting. Group 1, we had 1 accounting. In group 2, we had advanced accounting. Now, if you get exemption either in this or this, in both the cases, you don't have to write advanced accounting under the new scheme, which means that you have not cleared the accounting in the group 1, but you have secured an exemption in the advanced accounting. Still, you are exempted in writing the advanced accounting under the new scheme. So either you get exemption in paper 5 or you get exemption in paper 1. In any one of these 2 papers, you're getting exemption. Still, you have the exemption under the new scheme for advanced accounting subject. Under the existing old scheme, if anybody is secured an exemption in corporate and other laws, and that exemption is not expired, so you have that exemption continuing for May 24 examination, which means you don't have to write the corporate and other law in the May 24 new scheme. Same way for costing. If you have exemption in costing in old scheme, you don't have to write the costing in the new scheme, provided your exemption is not expired. Same way for taxation. If you have exemption in taxation under the old scheme, you can continue to avail the taxation under new scheme, provided your exemption is not expired. Same way for auditing. Auditing, if you are exempted in the old scheme, in the new scheme, you are not required to write the audit and ethics paper, provided the exemption is not expired. Now comes your paper 7 and paper 8, guys. Very, very interesting. All of you know that in the old scheme, you had something called as EISM and SM, EIS and SM. And paper 8 was FM and ECO. So now in the new scheme, guys, they have deleted EIS and ECO. So what is left? SM is left and FM is left. So now if anybody has got exemption in paper 7, if anyone has got exemption is paper 7, which is EIS and SM, and you have not got exemption or you have not cleared paper 8, in that case, under the new scheme, you do not have to write the paper of FM and SM. Or you have not cleared, if you have not got exemption in EIS SM, but you've got exemption in paper 8, still you are not supposed to take up the examination of FM SM under the new scheme. Let me repeat this point one more time. In paper 7, or paper 8, in any one of these paper, if you have scored exemption, then such exemption is carry forwarded to paper 6, which means you don't have to write FM and SM for the next examination. This is exemption I'm talking about. I'm not telling that you have cleared it, guys. Paper 6 is exempted, so which means paper 4 and paper 5 you have to write, but paper 6 is exempted. So again, I repeat one more time. In paper 7 or paper 8, any one, in any of these two, any one paper is exempted, your paper 6 is exempted for that unexpired period, which is very, very important point. Still, if you have any doubts, guys, I'm always reachable on this number. You can call and get things clarified. These are the two numbers. Please make a note of it. Then moving forward. Now, this is the tabular column, guys. In this tabular column, the first column is the scenario column. Second is the particulars of the different groups. So guys, now this CA intermediate is not this the existing only group. Prior to this, there's so many changes that has happened. We had something called PE2, then we had IPC, then we had IPCC, then now we have intermediate. So all of them put together, they've prepared this tabular column. So here in this tabular column, if you focus on the first scenario, this is group 1 people passed under PE1 and PE2, this old to old to old scheme. So please do not focus on all that. So I'll tell you which segment is applicable for you guys. So column 2 is talking about the which group, which set of people is supposed to see this information in this row. Third column talks about the paper passed under the existing scheme. So in the existing old scheme, if you're clearing certain papers, then such exemption, how will it be awarded in the new scheme? And once you get that exemption in the new scheme, what are the remaining papers that you're supposed to write in the new scheme is what being given in this columns. So I'm focusing on column 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so please stay tuned to me. So point number 10 is the relevant point for all of you guys. Group 1 passed in the intermediate examination. Group 1 passed in the intermediate examination. You're clearing the entire group 1 in November 23, which means paper 1 accounting clear, paper 2 business, law, ethics, communication, corporate, other law, costing. Just a minute. Yes, so paper 3 cost accounting, cost and management accounting, and paper 4 taxation. Guys, this group 1, when they're focusing on integrated professional competency course, IPCE, IPCC, and intermediate. So I told you this is something which is applicable to us. So here, if you see cost accounting and financial management, this was something which was there for the people, those who are registered in the IPC and IPCC. So please do not focus on that. So my focus is only on the existing people who are going to give the CA intermediate examination under the latest old scheme. So if you are clearing your paper 1 accounting, paper 2 law, paper 3 costing, and paper 4 taxation, then in group 1 of the new scheme, you don't have to take up the advanced accounting. That is exempted. So if you are passing in group 1, then advanced accounting of group 1 in new scheme is not required to be undertaken. Law, you don't have to undertake. Paper 2 of group 1 not required to undertake. And paper number 3 of group 1, you're not supposed to undertake. So paper 1 of group 1 is advanced accounting, paper 2 of group 1 is law, and paper 3 of group 1 is tax. So these 3 papers, you are not supposed to write it, because since you're clearing the entire group 1 under the old scheme, the new group 1, group 1 under new scheme also has been exempted. But the highlight here is that if you are clearing the group 1 into the old scheme, group 2, in group 2 of new scheme, we have something called as paper number 4, which is costing paper. Even that you are exempted. Why? Because under the old scheme, you have already written the cost paper and cleared it. So by that virtue, the costing paper, which is now in the new scheme group 2 as paper number 4, that paper also you are exempted. So out of 6 paper in new scheme, 4 paper you are exempted. So what is the balance paper that you have to write? So in group 2, you are supposed to write paper number 5, which is audit and ethics. And group 2, paper 6, you are supposed to write only FM and SM. This is the very same point I was telling from the very day 1 of the new scheme being launched. But still, a lot of people had a confusion because officially there is no clarification from the institute. But to all the students back then who had counseled me from different places, I told you very clearly that yes, if you are clearing group 1 in the November 23 attempt, you have to write only 2 papers in the new examination of the new scheme, which is auditing and FMSM only. So that has been come out very clearly here. Now, students now who have cleared the group 2 examination, those who are going to write in November 23 and you're clearing group 2. So in group 2, what do we have? Paper 5 is advanced accounting, paper 6 is auditing assurance, paper 7 is EIS and SM, and then paper 8 is my FM and ECO. Now these 4 papers you write and the entire group is cleared. In that case, guys, the best part is that even if you clear advanced accounting, group 1 is not clear now. Remember a scenario now, group 1 you have not cleared. Group 1 you have not cleared. Only group 2 you are clearing in November 23. In that case, your group 1 paper 1 advanced accounting is also exempted. So this is the very same point I discussed in the beginning of the video, that whether you clear or exempt, get exemption in accounts or advanced accounting, the benefit of clearing or benefit of carry forwarding of the exemption is applicable to advanced accounting as well. So group 2 people, if you're clearing or exempting advanced accounting, you don't have to write advanced account paper in the next attempt. So now this is focusing on the entire group 2. Individual exemption already is discussed in the above. Now we're discussing about the entire group being passed. So now group 2 passed people, you don't have to write the group 1 of paper 1 advanced accounting. Then since you have already cleared auditing assurance, group 2 paper 5 auditing ethics also has been cleared for you automatically. If you have clearing EISM paper, then or paper 8 FMSM paper, anyone you are getting exempted or the entire group is cleared, you are exempted from writing the paper number 6, or you don't have to write the paper 6 at all in the next set of examination. So again, my point one more time, listen to me very carefully. Students, those who are cleared the group 2 in November 23 examination under the existing old scheme, you don't have to write the advanced accounting paper. You don't have to write the advanced accounting paper of group 1 in the new scheme. Group 2 paper 5 is exempted and group 2 paper 6 is exempted. Now please understand, under the new scheme, you have 3 papers in group 2: costing, auditing and FMSM. So now group 2 paper 6, that is FMSM, is exempted and paper 5 auditing is exempted, but costing is not exempted. So now in May 24, when you take examination, you have to take group 1. So group 1, what will you take? Since advanced accounting is exempted, so you don't have to write advanced accounting. So what is the second paper that you have to take? Paper 2 corporate law you have to take of group 1 in the new scheme. Then paper 3 of group 1, which is taxation, that you have to take. So law paper you have to take, tax paper you have to take, and costing paper of group 2 you have to take. Group 2 advanced accounting, auditing, EIS and SM, FM, ECO. Now entire group is clear, guys. Entire group is cleared. If you're clearing the entire group, so what is exempted, guys? Since advanced accounting you're clearing, group 1 advanced accounting on the new scheme has been exempted. Since auditing is cleared in the group 2 of the existing scheme, auditing paper has been exempted. Since you have cleared the entire group 2, so by that virtue, your paper number 6, which is FM and SM, has also been cleared. So 3 paper exemption you're getting. Now, what are the other papers that you're supposed to write? So in group 1, under the new scheme, we have advanced accounting. Now, since you're already got exemption in group 2 under the existing scheme, advanced accounting, so in the new scheme also, advanced accounting of group 1, you don't have to write. But under group 1, your paper 1 is exempted, but paper 2, which is law, and paper 3, which is tax, you have to take these 2 examination. So law and tax, you have to take in the group 1. And in group 2, what are you supposed to take? In group 2, paper number 4, which is costing, you have to take it, because costing paper you have not written, guys. So you have to take costing under the new scheme, which is a part of group 2 now. So paper 4 costing has to be taken, whereas paper 5 and paper 6 is exempted because you already have cleared group 2. So you are not going to write this paper and this paper in the May 24 examination. I hope I'm clear with what I'm trying to sell. So now, guys, if you still have doubts pertaining to any of this notification, please feel absolutely free to reach out to me. So in this YouTube below in the comment section. Please post your queries, and I'll try my level best to answer as early as possible. And just in case I'm delaying in answering your query, you can just call me then and there and get things clarified. Definitely, most of the times I'll be in classes, so my phone will be on the silent mode. So definitely, once I'm out of the class, definitely I will give you a call back. Second thing is, now a lot of people will start thinking in different manner, that okay, now since this exemption scheme is available, okay, let me do such things in the upcoming November 23 exam. They'll start changing their plan in the last minute, which can backfire. So if you have anything of that sort, please do not decide by yourself. Reach out to me, discuss your plan with me. If I find that plan is viable, I will give you a go ahead. If I feel no, that with the existing scenario, you're not making a realistic decision, you're making an ambitious decision, if I feel, then I might not give you a green signal. So please do not discuss with your friends or somebody and have a dream of thoughts. Okay, if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, that will happen, and unnecessarily screw your existing attempt. This November 23 attempt for both CA inter and final students, a golden attempt. So you have to make the best use of it. That's why I was insisting time and again that please focus on four things properly. Now that you have done classes by now, I hope all of you have completed your classes by now. The next three things that you have to focus very robustly is the revision techniques. The revision techniques will play a significant role. So this revision techniques differs from person to person and subject to subject. Please reach out to me. I'll tell you what best way can be adopted to recollect things faster in examination. Second, which you should not compromise, is test. A lot of people in the CA course do not take up the test. By virtue of that, you end up losing the marks. The experiences, the bad experiences that you're supposed to gain in the test, such experiences you start gaining the main examination, which is the inter and final examination at the ICAI. So please do not make that mistake. And the third thing, what you have to take care of, wherever you're finding it difficult in making the judgment or decision, please reach out to me or reach out a mentor who can guide you in the real sense of what to be done and what not to be done, and what should be done in what particular way or order. That kind of minute level of assessment and the counseling is very much required. So reach out to the right person, guys. So yes, that's all from my video for this particular session, people. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, bye bye, see you, take care.